Today for Bolton, it's Manchester City, who themselves aren't clear of danger yet. Both sides go into the game needing a positive result after poor campaigns to date. After threatening to win promotion for so long, Bolton Wanderers finally realised Premier League status after beating Reading 4-3 in a memorable Division 1 playoff final in May of last year. And with a new management team in Roy McFarland and Colin Todd replacing Bruce Rioch, who left for Arsenal, Bolton started the season full of expectation. But they would have to wait until their third match against Blackburn to earn their first win of the season.
Coyle to Freitas, 1-0 to Bolton.
The speculation surrounding Bolton star players Alan Stubbs and Jason McAteer, it was their captain Stubbs who supplied Bolton's winning goal, this to earn them victory over their local rivals. But the win proved to be a false dawn. By the time they played Liverpool in November, Bolton had picked up just 4 points in 7 games. Robbie Fowler's 4-goal display at Anfield emphasised that Bolton were in for a long, hard season. McFarland and Todd, though, refused to compromise their attacking principles. But this opened the door for Nottingham Forest, who made Bolton pay the price with a last-minute winner at the City Ground. Bruce Rioch's return to Burnden Park in October seemed to galvanise Bolton, the team responding with a spirited, resourceful display.
McGinley! Bolton have scored!
But their change of fortune didn't last long. Defeat at Southampton left them rock bottom. Even Scott Sellers' arrival from league leaders Newcastle made little difference to their form. Wanderers were on the slide, losing crucial matches to other strugglers. And after being a goal up against Coventry at Burnden Park, goalkeeper Keith Brannigan's horrendous error in the last minute seemed to sum up their season. Bolton were pressing the self-destruct button, and nothing, it seemed, was going to save them. Their poor form cost Roy McFarland his job, with Colin Todd staying on in sole charge, aided by new coach Ian Porterfield. Astonishingly, when they visited Middlesbrough, Bolton pulled off one of the shocks of the season, outclassing the Teessiders in a 4-1 win. In their very next league game, though, Bolton again showed their fragility in defence. A hammering by Manchester United.
Ryan Giggs, still Giggs. Oh, he did nearly everything right. But it's still the dream start for Manchester United.
Nicky Butt's goal was United's 6th, highlighting the extent of the gulf that exists between the opposite ends of the table. But Bolton are nothing if not fighters. And after beating Leeds at Ellen Road, Alan Stubbs scored both goals to earn all 3 points at Highfield Road against Coventry. And with another win last week against Sheffield Wednesday, inspired by the ever-impressive Sasa Čurčić, Bolton have now won 3 of their last 4 games. All may not yet be lost for the Lancashire club. With the arrival of Alan Ball as manager from Southampton back in the summer, Manchester City's season also started full of expectation. But City got off to their worst ever start. The main road club went 12 games without a win. And along the way, they suffered a 6-0 humiliation at the hands of a rampant Liverpool at Anfield. But Alan Ball isn't one to take defeat lightly, and by November the tide had begun to turn. City's first win coming against today's opponents, Bolton. City followed this with an unexpected win over Aston Villa. Alan Ball's summer signing, Georgi Kinkladze, scored his first league goal to take them off the bottom of the table. Kinkladze from Georgia, just one of a number of overseas players who've joined City recently. But it was an Irishman, Jerry Craney, who earned City their first away win at Leeds in December. Over the Christmas period, City's recovery looked in danger of floundering, with successive defeats against Chelsea and Blackburn, followed by a narrow defeat at Tottenham.
Armstrong! Well, I've had to wait a long time.
Nigel Clough's arrival from Liverpool for a bargain £1.5 million offered renewed hope. And it was Clough who immediately made his presence felt at Southampton, setting up Uwe Rosler for an important equalising goal. Clough then went on to score City's opener against fellow strugglers Queen's Park Rangers a week later. But City's greatest test yet of their will to survive came in their recent classic home encounter with Newcastle. On that day, City were to improve they have an unflagging spirit. With the game level at 1 apiece, they took the lead.
Here's Quinn, he's done it! City are ahead again!
But back came Newcastle. Faustino Asprilla scored his first goal in the Premier to equalise. But still, there was plenty more drama to unfold.
Lomas. And Uwe Rosler gives Manchester City the lead again. Here's Philippe Albert. And there's your equaliser.
The season in which City's never-say-die approach has been vigorously tested, the Newcastle game provided a springboard for an unbeaten 4-match run. Kinkladze, a revelation now in midfield, scored both goals in their crucial 2-1 win over Ball's old club Southampton at Main Road. City have maintained a belief in attractive football whenever they've travelled, but have often paid the penalty, as in their match last week at Upton Park. City lost 4-2 to West Ham and were guilty of some slack defending. They'll certainly need to improve in that area if they're going to survive the struggle. Ian Dowie was their downfall last week with 2 of the goals. So we come to today's crucial encounter in which both sides are desperate for the points in their pursuit of safety. Your match commentator is Martin Tyler.
Bolton's main concern has been about their goalkeeping position. First choice, Keith Brannigan, is injured. The regular reserve, Aidan Davison, has looked nervous in the last 2 Premiership games. So just before this week's transfer deadline, Gavin Ward was signed from 2nd Division Bradford City, and he's brought straight in for his debut today. Otherwise, it's the same side which beat Sheffield Wednesday, with the Serbian, Sasha Čurčić, a potential trump card in a free role. Manchester City also in the transfer market this week. Mikhail Kavalashvili, signed from the Russian club Spartak Vladikavkaz. Like Kinkladze, who's been such a success with City, he's a Georgian. Today he's a substitute. Niall Quinn, who came off the bench to score twice at West Ham last weekend, is the main striker, with Uwe Rosler not fit today. And Scott Filey replaces Michael Fronsek at left back. A local man for a local derby, Roger Dilts from nearby Mosley. Bolton in white, the Freitas chasing his own header, and Ike Immel called into action within a matter of seconds to come off his line and kick the ball away as Bolton looked for the bright start. And they want Immel again to the City defenders, and this time it was a more comfortable task for the German goalkeeper, who's done so well since being brought into English football that Manchester City allowed Tony Coton, for so long their regular, to move, and to move in fact to Manchester United. Here's McGinley, tries it from long range, and well, it zipped across the turf. And Immel having a very hectic first minute of the match. Quinn, who's got Nigel Clough as his supporting striker, and Kinkladze operating just behind. Bolton really tried to play in a cavalier way, and caught a cold here against Manchester United. It's Quinn with a flick! Niall Quinn has scored! And Bolton might be catching a cold here against Manchester City. And Gavin Ward, on his Bolton debut, is beaten by Quinn's flick. No wonder he's smiling, no wonder Manchester City is smiling. It was all in their own penalty area in the first minute. First break forward, and from the free kick, Quinn worked to position, and as the ball finally came in, a lovely little glance. Bolton 0, Manchester City 1. Niall Quinn, 2 goals last Saturday in the losing cause, finding some form in front of goal at a crucial time. Manchester City have won only one away game in the league this season. That was at Leeds. Corner off Phillips. And some will be leaving it for Kinkladze, about whom Manchester City are very proud that they've brought him into English football, and they're determined to hang on to him despite interest At least if you believe football gossip from other clubs. That's Brown. I don't know how much Ward knew about it, but the ball struck him and stayed close enough to hang on to. Michael Brown's volley. Stubbs backing his own class, and well, that will have given Bolton a little bit of confidence, not just the player himself, but the team generally, because in the hurly-burly of midfield, that was a more controlled piece of play from the home captain. Hasn't got them very far forward. Hiley. McGinley's throw. The Freitas first to it. And Brightwell gets the better of Churchich again. Lomas. That's encouraged the Manchester City fans, who will probably, given City's record this season, not feel too comfortable about the team defending a 1-0 lead for some 88 minutes. They've got through about 23 minutes of those since they went in front, headed on by McGinley. John McGinley again! But it was certainly dipping under the bar. Heike Immel, who's a genuine shot stopper as a goalkeeper. It's his real strength on his line. And he got an arm up to protect Manchester City's lead there. But Bolton have a corner. McGinley trying to make a nuisance of himself for the goalkeeper. Sellers will take it. That's Thompson's header. Sellers drives it in again towards Coleman, who was well marshalled by Quinn. McGinley, who's been out of the team here recently and has not been happy about it. He wants to impress for Scotland for Euro 96. And that was an impressive strike then. Lomas. Well, Quinn does enough to make Fairclough play it out. Kinkladze. Some of his onside. He's got a good angle for the cross here. Quinn just raised an arm in apology that he didn't really attack it. Fairclough puts it behind for a corner. Hiley to take it. Kinkladze. Coleman trying to get to him. Lomas. Quinn. Clough. It's loose. And Nigel Clough very nearly in for number 2. Terrific knockdown by Quinn. And Gavin Wood was able to get back. Coleman. Phillips. Well, this time Brightwell had to come out and do some defending away from Churchich. He's just having a look back now. Phillips, that's a chance to cut it back. Churchich! Blocked by Curl. Stubbs once and not the second time. McGinley's there. And it's going to drop behind. Well, it was the first moment of freedom for the Serb. And it came when Jimmy Phillips got round the back here. Churchich trying to steer it in, but Keith Curle covered superbly, and for all the subsequent efforts, Bolton never came quite that close again. Oh, that was late by Brightwell on Churchich. Bolton kept the ball, and Ian Brightwell is going to be booked. Well, at least he's going to be spoken to. Well, a couple of times now, Jimmy Phillips has been in advanced positions down the Bolton left. Churchich coming deeper to get into the game. Gets it back from De Freitas. That's a little cameo of what he is capable of. A player from Partizan Belgrade. He tried to round off an attack of which he himself was the architect. Now De Freitas. Sellers. Clough can't control it, Bolton get another throw. The ball rather stuck in that part of the pitch. Linesman's flagging, Summerby, the culprit, on Thompson. And Alan Thompson seems to be winning that particular race, a tug back by Summerby. And the name, and a famous name in Manchester City's history, is recorded in the notebook of Roger Dilks. So Bolton have a free kick. Scott Sellers to take it. Quinn, hooked back in by Stubbs. Might come for McGinley. Thompson having to turn, and the ball runs out. Those spectators in that part of the pitch seeing plenty of the action close up in these crucial minutes at the opening of the second half, as Bolton try to put extra tempo into their play to find sharper attacks. Stubbs, Fairclough. McGinley again moves unselfishly to the right-hand side to keep the shape. To try and act as a winger against Hiley. Knocked away by Curle and then banged away, further away by Brightwell. It's all in Manchester City territory at the moment. This is Coleman. And although he went on, the game had actually stopped. Well, some furrowed brows amongst the loyal Bolton following, and more furrows because Kinkladze is trying to weave a spell against them here. Hiley against Bergson. Clough. Brown. Kinkladze. Still. Summerby! Well, the player who scored the goal that beat Bolton at Main Road, Mickey Summerby, teed up here by Kinkladze, who taunted Coleman, threw Phillips in, and Summerby smacked it. He hoped goalwards. The power was there, but the accuracy wasn't. McGinley. Coleman. Bolton having the possession. But Manchester City so far soaking it all up with a good degree of comfort, and Clough again winning it back and waiting for runners. He's got Lomas. It's a great break from him. Kinkladze in the middle, and it's gone across everyone until Stubbs sticks out a foot. And that's the worry for Bolton. They've got to commit players forward, but if they overcommit, well, particularly with a good team man like Nigel Clough tackling to win the ball and then getting it back, getting it through for Lomas. It's a fine break. This is Simons. And Quinn off the goalkeeper, off the bar from Clough. And Manchester City a millimetre or two away from going 2 in front. It might yet happen. Kinkladze. And then from that angle, he had to produce something really from his wide-ranging repertoire to get the better of Ward. And Manchester City, having hit the bar and looking as though Bolton might be knocked further back. Well, it didn't quite happen, and it stays at 1-0, and De Freitas. There's Bergson. Thompson's in some space here. Could that be a turning point in the game? Churchic. Spins behind for the corner. Thompson telling Phillips to leave it. It's Coleman, can get it down. Coleman again. And once more. Suddenly it's City hanging on, when they were so close to scoring a second themselves. Now they can break. Hiley. Well, everyone else is rather off the pace for Scott Hiley. Well, it was Simons who had the shot. Goalkeeper lost it. Quinn was in there. A spin from Clough. The bar still shaking. Churchic. Now Brightwell's got to be careful inside the area. That's Coleman. And that's, well, it was a shot, and it might have turned out to be a half-decent cross off the outside of the foot. Simon Coleman, who has made a heartening recovery and a return to this level of play in the last couple of months after a badly broken leg. Kept him out for a year. Green. Stubbs. Churchic. And McGinley must score! Well, it's been a long road back for Bolton Wanderers. 16 minutes to go. And finally they found an equaliser. And Brightwell, in the end, couldn't maintain the concentration on Churchic, who got it across. And John McGinley, from close in, helped by the deflection, firmly past Immel. Clough. Now Phillips. Thompson. Now Somerby, who was booked early in the second half, gets a second yellow card. And it's all going wrong for Alan Ball's team at the moment. Within seconds, they've lost the goal and lost the player. Bolton pumped up. Somerby trying to do his bit to stop the extra effort from the side that's just equalised. McGinley! Bergson! Great stop by Immel! Wouldn't quite fall for McGinley. Goodney Bergson hammered it goalwards. It was a good height for the save. But nonetheless, the stop a significant one, because Manchester City at the moment are really on the rack. McGinley, offside. It's the City fans who are quiet at the moment, mixing watching the game with glancing down at their own timepieces. Sellers, Jurcic, Sellers. It comes to Patalainen. In the way, Patalainen goes in again. And Roger Dilks, as the goalkeeper once more provided a barrier to Bolton. Patalainen appealing for the corner, but a goal kick given by the referee. And that is the end of it all. Rather tamely, although Alan Ball won't feel that. Bolton will. Despair for them at just a draw in this Northwest derby. John McGinley, 16 minutes from time with an equaliser, seemed to offer such hope for a real finale, particularly when it was followed by the sending off of Nicky Summerby. But Bolton feel that they needed more than a draw today. Bolton much more deflated by the draw. Bolton won, Manchester City won.
Colin, you wrote in your programme notes that this was a match that you absolutely had to win. 81 seconds, you're a goal down.
I mean, it's happened throughout the season. Once again, we've given ourselves a mountain to climb. We've conceded that early goal, but credit to the players, have stuck at it again. And we'll keep battling on. The belief is still there. Players are disappointed. But we had a little bit of luck in the second half where they've hit the crossbar. But overall, disappointed to lose 2 points, but it's better to get 1 point than nothing at all.
I feel empty. We've got a point, I suppose, a good point. Any other time of the season, be a marvellous point away from home. But it's the way you achieve things in football, and OK, we battled, we hung on at the finish, but not for me. No, it was a poor second half.